Hi everyone, I'm JD. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited. I've got a bit of a challenge for everyone, but mostly it's for myself. It's a scrap challenge to create a journal. And this is one of my things to do in 2020. I've got a list of 20 things to do in 2020 and they're all about trying something new, stepping out of my comfort zone and that kind of thing. So I've done plenty of journaling challenges where we actually use our journals, but never done a challenge to make a journal. So we'll just see how it goes. I'm going to do this for me. It's been something I've wanted to do for a while and I just haven't gotten around to it yet because it is out of my comfort zone. So I thought if I announce it on my channel, put it out into the world, it will make me do it. And this challenge, it's got a 1 month time limit, and if other people join on board, it just makes it so much fun to create together. So, and I thought this would be a good time to do this now while a lot of us are in social isolation, the shops are closed, and I am running out of supplies, and so I thought perfect time to just try to use all of our scraps. Okay, so I think I'm calling it the Trash to Treasure Journal Challenge, or perhaps the Scrap Embellishment Journal Challenge or something like that, because the idea is to make a journal first of all, but only the pages in it can only be one type of page through the whole journal. So let me get my pages. I'm going to use just coffee dyed papers for the journal, and that will be my base. So if you don't have coffee dyed pages, you can use just plain white paper, or you can use just colored paper. But the point is just to use a plain blank page all throughout the journal, because the aim is we're going to use our scraps to embellish the journal and turn it into something interesting and beautiful and creative. So that's why, yeah, the plain pages, that will really give us a base to go nuts with the embellishments. And I've got my scrap boxes here. So this is my fabric scrap box with just fabric and lace and trims and ribbons, all offcuts and little scrappy pieces. This is my paper scrap box, so lots of offcuts from when I did pages for a journal, little offcuts here from journal cards, and just, you know, all sorts of scraps. It just goes on and on and on. So I really want to start using all of these again. It's getting a bit too full in here for my liking. And then Jude, she told me to keep all of these tiny, tiny scraps. So I'll have to figure out how to use those as well. So yeah, grab out your scraps, whatever they are, and then I'm not going to be too strict in how you use them. For example, like you can use staples. So if you, like I've got just scrappy pieces here from offcuts of pages, and I've turned it into a little notebook. So of course you can use other supplies, it's just that the scrap needs to be the base that you're working with. So again, another example is my little scrap clusters as tuck spots, and my little scrap notepad things. So you're allowed to use staples, you're allowed to use glue, you're allowed to use scissors, all that kind of thing. And I'll even go as far as to say things like you can use stamping. So these are scrap pieces I just would normally chuck out. But I grabbed my ink pad and some stamps, and I just stamped them all. So I'm not sure what to do with them because they're still scrap pieces to me. I might make pockets or just chuck them onto a page. So of course you can also use a sewing machine too if you want. Things like my clusters, these just use a whole bunch of scrappy pieces of paper, and then I embellish it with a little bit of lace or trim or fabric on top. So you can get really creative and create something really pretty. I'll even let you do things like you like cutting out pieces from a magazine, from an op shop, and then like all of this I would have normally thrown out, but these cut out pieces from the offcuts of journal pages, so I just cut them down to size and sew them onto these pictures, and yeah, it turns it into a journal card. So the base was the paper. So I'll allow those kind of things, you know. It's just how we can use our scraps in a creative way instead of throwing them out. And also, I think it's really cool how limitations can actually free up creativity. It's kind of this paradox. You think when you're limited, you'll be stifled, but when you have limitations, it forces you to think outside the box, try different things, and do things that you would never have done before. And you never know, you might be like, wow, I really love that, and you take that into the rest of your journal making journey. So these limitations to only use the scraps for embellishing, it may come up with some really creative, clever results that you will, use in future journals. So that's my aim, is I'm going to make a journal, coffee dyed pages is my base, and then I'm going to embellish it, fully embellished journal, but just using my scraps. And there's not any rules or anything about what kind of journal you make. You can use any cover you want. You can have as many signatures in there as you want, as many pages as you want. But the two most basic rules, I suppose, if there are rules or guidelines or whatever you call them, is just plain pages, one type of plain page throughout, and then to embellish, you can only use your scraps as your base. Okay, and then you can adapt it however you want. If you want to make like a really junky journal, you can do that. If you're really strict on yourself and you don't want to include pieces like this, if you literally only want to use scraps, you can take it further and do that. But yeah, I'll leave all the guidelines or anything and details in the description box below if anyone's interested in joining me. So let me know in the comments if you're keen to join me in this, and feel free to jump onto the Facebook group page for Willowbound Journals, share your boxes of scraps that you're going to use, share progress photos of your project. Tag me on Instagram too if you're on Instagram. If you have a channel, a YouTube channel, feel free to do a flip through of your finished journal. I'll obviously come on and do a flip through of my finished journal, and I'll try to do a few process videos as well and show you what I come up with, but I'd love to see what you come up with as well. So feel free to jump on board. I'll leave the links all below and all that kind of stuff. And I guess there can be a prize, I'm not sure. The prize is that you get to create something with what you already have and use up some scraps and create a beautiful journal. But I'll give a prize for, I don't know, my favourite journal that's created, and I'll give you a pack of my handmade embellishments from scraps. How about that? So that's the prize. And it will end the challenge in 1 month from the date that this video goes up. So hopefully that gives everyone enough time to make a journal and embellish it. You won't need to get supplies, hopefully, because you've got the things in your scrap boxes. And yeah, just use whatever papers you have around the house, whatever you've got. So I'm not going to be too strict about what papers you use. The plainer the better, obviously, so that the embellishments can stand out. And I guess, yeah, the junkier the better, but I'm not going to be too fast. Like, I've got scrapbook offcuts, pretty papers offcuts and things like that. So yeah, if you have any questions, let me know, but I hope I've covered everything. Hope it all makes sense. And I'm just excited. So hopefully now that I've given myself a month time limit, I will actually get started on this journal and step out of my comfort zone. And who knows what we'll create. We'll see what happens. I'm not even sure what kind of journal I'll make yet. Like if it will be hardcover, soft cover, who knows? Who knows? But anyway, I'm excited. Hope you are too. And let me know if you're going to join in. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.